Welcome back to Henry's Garage. Working on the electrics on this car, trying to make sure they're all working, which they're not. And things that were working seem to have stopped. Anyway, it's quite a long episode. Could use some thoughts on pop-up headlights and why I'm not getting power to some of the lights suddenly. I've got a theory, but which you'll pick up I think in the episode, but if you've got different views, it'd be good to know. Like people to confirm that the issue I'm having with two starter motors is kind of, yeah, that's not really surprising, and yeah, I do need to replace it, which is the conclusion I've come to. And reverse light switch as well, just confirmation on that would be great. Anyway, enjoy the episode. It's quite long, apologies for that, but quite a lot in it, and thanks for watching. I've started putting the electrics on, or connecting up to the engine. So down here you can see starter motor connected up. Over here got the alternator also connected, and on the basis of this wire being conveniently located for it, I'm assuming that that is the oil pressure. Similarly over here, these, they did link up at one point. Something linked up here. I thought I had the distributor linked up, but I'll have to look at that again. But what I haven't got is this one. Now I suspect this might go back to the gear lever, but I've also got a wire that's come out here, so I'm going to disconnect this and see if I can find it on the electrical diagram and go from there. Yeah, I've managed to confirm this does, well, appears to go straight to the gear shift, or the cable that's around there, so it's exactly the right length for it, and it fits and all of that, so I think we'll assume it is without looking at the diagram. Unfortunately, in doing that, both came out, and so both need to go back in now, and because both came out, I don't know which one goes in which, and I don't know if it makes a difference, so I'm going to have to find my wiring diagram and take a look, because one looks like it's all green and the other one looks like it is green with the right bounce up. Actually, I'll check on the other wire to see if I've got the same there, and I'll match them up on that. The one to the top is all green and the one to the middle is green and brown. So that cable's now on and is running to there. I seem to have two earth connections. One here, which I can't really reach anywhere, and the other one I've just for now bolted onto the heater, which I think should give me a decent enough earth. This isn't on very tight, but it should be okay for a bit of testing. I haven't checked the battery, it's been sat there a while, but hopefully that'll be okay. On the other side, I have pulled through the brake reservoir pressure gauge, and these say coil, so the coil must go over here somewhere, and I haven't fitted the coil yet, but I think it's wired up enough that I should be able to kind of test some of the electrics. So let's switch on the lights and see if, or switch on the put it step one on the ignition and see what we get. Right, here we go, turning the key. So we get coolant, we get, oh, choke is, so it's showing the choke, even though it should be okay. Good, the ignition lights come on. All right, well, we've got some things. Oh, the clock's going, that's nice. Okay, so that's the wipers in position 1 and in position 2. But this isn't working now. Horn, yeah, horn works. I won't try the washer. Let's see if this will switch on. Okay, so we've got a fan, so that's still working. What about hazards? Okay, well I can hear it clicking, but the lights aren't going. Okay, and all that lights in general, so nothing there. Okay, so I'm gonna tomorrow, that is, I'm gonna start working through those bits and pieces again to see if we can work out what's going on. So that choke is not out, so the light shouldn't be on. So I've clearly got it connected up on. Okay. So this is the light for the choke, which says it's on. And just here, you can see it's all the way in. I can pull it out. Okay. So what I think the issue must be is I've got this wrong in some way when I've put it on, and I haven't got it in the right position. So I'm going to take that off and see if I can work through it. So this is the switch for the choke, and if I press this in like that, you can see the light's gone out, and then I'm going to let it out. There it is. Okay, so this has not been going in properly for whatever reason, which means I didn't have it set up properly. So we got it back on. We can see the light isn't on. I pull the choke out and it goes on. There we can see the choke out. So choke sorted. So yesterday when I tried the indicators, they didn't work. And then when I did this I could hear it, and I didn't notice until I saw the video later that those were coming on. So I'm going to just have a look to see if the outside lights are also coming on with that. Interesting, that one's now, oh no, they're both going. It's hard for me to see those. So let's have a look. So you can just about see that black light flashing, and the back left is flashing. That side indicator isn't flashing. And that one is flashing. Oh, and where's this one gone? This one's flashing. So it's just, oh, so it's those side ones aren't flashing, which I need to look at. Now before I look at the side ones, I just tried this because I remember the horn worked, and we can see that that is turning and that is turning. So I'm just going to check those are working in all four corners as well. So we can see my right is working, but not the right along the side here. And at the back, that's going good. We'll try the left. Left back looks okay. Nothing from the left side. Left front looks okay. There we can see the left go in. And And the other side, we can see the light going. And so the reason for that was bad connections, because these bundles have been banged and knocked and stuff, and so they'd come unconnected. So we can see the parking brake light comes on. Thing is, I've had to take it apart to do it. So the part of the problem was it wasn't actually connected up, and the rest of the problem was this isn't coming up high enough, so I've got to get the brake off again in order to fix it again. So I need to get underneath the car in order to do that and disconnect it. Now, I've had this off and back on, and the problem was I had this up too tight, so I can't really do this one-handed. Hang on. There you go. So it's up now. Parking brake is on. See? And this button does come out and it goes down nicely, and the brake goes off. So good. Right, no sooner had I got it on than it stopped working again, and this started jamming. So what I've decided actually is the problem's here. See how rusty it is? So I think it's not moving freely. Now I can't find a wire wheel for that, so I'm just going to use this to try to remove some of that rust. Okay, so I haven't connected up at the other end at this stage, but that seems to be moving more freely now. I'm going to go check the brake lights and the reverse light. Foot brake, handbrake, handbrake, reverse, first, second, reverse. Just watched the video of the lights. So the reverse lights work fine, but not the reverse. The brake lights are working fine, good. The reverse lights not. Not sure why not. It might be the engine needs to actually be on for that. I'm not sure. Well, I guess that bit of video shows that the lights should come on. The reverse lights, be just for being in reverse. So I haven't quite got something connected up properly there either. These are my reverse lamps. This is the reverse lamp switch. So we have a green and brown that goes from the switch to the bulbs. The green at the switch, it goes green into the switch, green and brown out. Okay, and the green connects up here. That might be a fuse to white, and the white wire should go to my ignition. There we go. Okay, so when I turn the ignition on, I should have power to here. And when I put it in gear, I should then have power to here. Now, the wires I connected up underneath the car, I believe are the reverse, for the reverse circuit. So what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to disconnect that and test connectivity on the green around this bit. Okay, and if I've got connectivity there, so if this switch is actually engaging when I put it into reverse. Okay, so the car So I'm just going to test the wires. I've already done this, but just to show you. So the car is in, ignition is on. I think that's the green one. So I think that's the green one, so that should show power. I can't tell because I can't see it. And this one should not show power. This is the green and neutral. So that's coming from the engine, from the battery. So we have power to one and not to the other, which is right. And so the car is, I believe, in reverse. And so when I connect for connectivity, I should get something here. It's connected now, but if it doesn't come off one, so that's me touching them against each other, and this is me touching it to the nodes. So I think right now I'm not getting anything, so I think I'm not getting a circuit on the switch. So I've taken the cover off here and we can see the two wires there, and there was also this little spring, and that was just hanging here, and so I think this has been damaged in some way, because clearly it's not meant to be hanging there, it's meant to be fitted in. And so I'm going to take this out. I hope that doesn't cause me other problems. I'm going to take this out. If I can unhook it from here, then it's in the way. I can unhook it from here and here. I should be able to get that little bit of wiring out and have a look at it. Right, so this is it out, and clearly when it goes into reverse, this gets pressed, which must go against this spring, okay, which is held in place by this. So if I lay this across here so it touches those two contacts, and I've got the positive power connected up through there, and if I the positive lead, if I just put the other one on, okay, so clearly there's something that comes, I mean, this isn't coming up far enough, so there must be something else there, but the spring presumably, I don't know, but there's something which isn't there any longer. Or it's just too damaged. So solution is I'm going to have to replace this, because I can't see how I fix it at this stage. I can't see how it's meant to work on the inside. So I hope this all comes as a single unit. I'm sure it does. And I hope it's not too dear. Okay, I've tied those clusters up like that so they're not getting banged all the time. That should help a bit. I also started taking these apart to put a grommet on, only my grommets are slightly too small. They just don't quite fit, so I am going to have to buy some new ones of those. Okay, so that's that, and you can see those are up now. They just started working, or at least the left one did, but the right one doesn't want to move at all. So I need to look at that. Also, the beam. No, so when I pull the beam forward, you can see the beam light comes on. Okay, but I don't obviously have any light. Oh, actually, I also have a light down there, but not on this side. Okay, but when I put it into the beam position, it doesn't come on, even though that is on. Now that's interesting. So I have a light there. Is that the, looks like it is the main beam as well. So the beam comes on, but I don't have a permanent beam. I've started looking at the headlight motors. So this one on the right will go down, but it won't come back up. So we can watch it go down. There we go. So they both go down, but it won't come up. Now, when I come over to it and try to turn the handle a bit, which hopefully we can see through here. There. Okay, if I turn that, hang on, let's put it back down. When I have it down, so it will allow me to turn it up, but when I have it down, when we have it down, you can see it fighting against me. Okay, so we've got the connection for it to go down, but it looks like whatever's meant to come through to make it go up isn't actually ever getting there. Now, I don't pretend to understand electrics at all. Well, actually, I don't pretend to understand any of it really, but number 32 is the master light switch. Okay, and so that has a blue wire, a blue wire coming in here, all right, which also then feeds off. So this is the right motor and this is the left motor, which then feeds off over here. Has a blue wire coming in and a, I think that's brown and blue N, brown and blue wire coming in, all right. And I think when we get power to, I think power must always be to one of them. And when we get power to the other, it causes this switch to go, which I think must then cause the motor. All right, that's what I think must happen. And if the switch isn't going to cause it to go up, then it goes back down or something like that. Why wouldn't it just force itself down anyway then? So I think that's what's going on. It comes from the headlamp relay, so unless there's something wrong in the headlamp relay, because this then goes on up here, so it might be that that isn't getting flicked for whatever reason. I don't want to have to take everything out to get at that relay again, but that could be the issue as well. Oh, great. So what I'm basically saying is I really don't know what's wrong. Right, so here I've got a blue and brown and blue coming out, which goes in here. That's connected up here. Okay, and it's connected there. So if I follow that back around, it comes to the battery. So this, according to that theory, this blue and brown should have full charge all the time. Yeah, it should have electricity going to it whether ignition is on or not, because it doesn't go through the ignition, which is number 9 over here. Okay, it's hard to do this without clips and stuff, but I've found the blue and brown, which I'm connecting there, and I've got a full charge. I've got it on charge at the moment. So I've got a full charge on that one, so that's right. Next, we have this blue wire, and that comes from there. So this is the switch, the switch. So when that comes down, this will get lit. Okay, and that goes there. So irrespective of whether the ignition is on, we should get full voltage there when that comes down. Now this is actually the blue wire. It just has lots of red paint on it, and when I connect there, you can see I've got a full volt. So on the other side, we've got this one coming in, which is red and light green, and that's coming from the relay. Okay. Now I'm not sure if that is after it's received power or before. Number 6, headlamp circuit motor breaker. So that's what we've got coming into the motor, but actually they change colour. So we've got a U and O, which is orange, blue and orange, and U and B, which is blue and black. Okay, so both of those come down and go in. So blue and orange to green, to red and light green, and blue and black to green. So I think that's these ones here. So this is the green, and then the red and light green with a green and black above it. Oh, can't you see that? Let's try that again. So this one is the green, got the red and green above it, and then a black and green above that. And over on the other side, what were they meant to be coming in? Blue and orange. Yeah. And blue and something else. That could be blue and white. Let's check again. Right, so it's meant to be blue and orange and blue and black, and I simply can't find those at all. So I wonder what they're meant to be to the other side. Look at that, looking at the North American model. Here's the UK model. Numbers are different. Colours are the same. Well, that's no help then. Apart from the other side, UK, so number 10, so that's the left-hand motor. See number 10 there, left-hand motor. That has UK, which is pink and blue and slate and blue. And those could be a match. Well, look at that. This is the other side. And I got my blue and orange there. Just here is the blue and orange and the blue and black. So it looks like I've fitted the motors to the wrong headlamps. Okay, so if I fitted the motors to the wrong headlamps, then I'm after a UK, which is blue and pink, go into a green, and a US, which is a blue and slate, go into a red and light green. And I think that's what I got here. Okay, I think that's my pink, blue and pink, and because it comes through to here, green, and this is a red and light green, which I think this must be the blue and slate, which is coming out, great. That's in well, good. Notice that my 1980 page was a lot darker, as in like it looked like it's been used a bit more than this one. Maybe not, anyway, but I also remember this bit being on the one I was using before. And can I just say, what I said about putting the motors on the wrong side must be absolute garbage, because these wires do not come from the motor, they come from the relay. If they're coming from the relay, then they're coming from way back, so I have no idea why they're the wrong way round, but they are, so be it. Unless I got my lefts and rights wrong, but I don't believe so. They say left-hand side, right-hand side. So these are drawn slightly differently, but they're basically the same. So when I look at the relay, headlight mode, so this must go to both. So since the one's working, the other must be working. So I'm not getting power to either of these at any point. I think that means this is gone, or not fitted properly. Might not be earthed very well or something. Okay, so I've tested all three of these with the light switch both off and on, and I've got no power from any of them at any point. So I think that means my relay's gone. Yeah, no power from any of them. Yeah, so I think that means the relay's gone. The only way I can really think of testing that is to swap the relays, and that means taking the old dash out again, which I'm really looking forward to. Right, I've wound this up, and this one came up by itself, and I've gone over my previous videos, and I had left them working. This one was inconsistent, but it was coming up and going down. So I'm not sure what's gone wrong in the meantime. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just check that I'm getting power to the dip on here and on there, because that's the position it's currently in, and see if the power is coming through there first, or if these bulbs have gone, because I have got replacements. So I want to check that first. So I'm starting on the dip, and when I test that, I have not got enough coming through. If I change it to the beam, I've got nothing coming through. And if I just use the switch, you know, the dip, the flasher, then it works. So that's beam on the flash. So what does that tell me? Okay, so number 15 is the main dip beam flash unit, which is here. Okay, and so what have we coming in there? So from the master light switch right here, what that is telling me is that when I flash it, I'm getting the connection through here to there, but when I don't flash it, I'm not. Let's just work through the other elements of this. So we've got blue coming in, which will come from here. What's this P coming from? Or is that going out? That goes onto the door switch. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that is going off somewhere. This is going off to the doors, 62. 61, the door switch, it's 52, hazard switch. So, I mean, this is just going off to other bits. I don't quite know why. But what I am confident of, it's just the blue coming in. So that means when I come back here, my switch isn't working properly. So from here, these actually go through fuses. Got 25 amp fuses, 4 of them. So I'm going to check those now in here. I have tested continuity across all those fuses. They're all good. I have tried beam and dip and all kinds of stuff, and looking for voltage across them, and I'm not getting anything. So I think all of those fuses are good. Well, that looks like the problem. The power in is not connected up. So I think that must go on there. And I'll test them again. So this is actually a switch for a Mini from 1981, I think, or something like that. And this connection here, to get it in, it has to go around this, and it's all causes that to get pulled out. So I have tightened it on there a bit. Not much though. I'll do that again, but to get it to stay in place a bit better. Progress is slow, but we're getting there. So the beams are now working again, and this is the flash, even though when I flash that won't actually come up. So, but the beam is working, so that's good. Of course, it's not working to this one, is it? No light down here. So we've got the one working. I'm now going to check if I'm getting power over there for the dip. I've got it on dip, and when I check the voltage across there, I got good voltage. So I'm getting power there, but I'm not getting the beam out. So either there's something wrong with the bulb unit, or there's a connection further in that's come loose. I've checked the right hand side, and I don't seem to be getting any power over to this one. So I need to find where I've got a connection gone wrong on that. I'm out of time, and I'm not going to be able to work on this next week for various reasons. And this video I've cut and pasted it, so I'm putting all the bits, I didn't necessarily just concentrate on lights at one point. I was doing bits and pieces, and so this I think is going to be in the middle of the video. I'm actually filming it last. And so I think I've got a problem pre-fuses, because and this is what I'm going to have to check when I come back next time. I guess I need to check if I've got a circuit from the fuse, this side of it, through to my lights. And if I've got a circuit there, then there's something before. But I've not got power to one, but I have to the other. They come off the same wire right there. What's this one going here though? Oh yeah, but it's this side of the fuse. So if the power came in here and it wasn't coming from here, wherever that is coming from, oh, that's the dip. It would come up here and down along there. So it's the same thing. Okay, so on this beam, because I'm not getting power to here, I think I must have a problem there or beforehand. And interestingly though, when it comes along here, it also doesn't get to here. But the same for this one. And the fact that I've got the same problem is a bit weird, I think. But again, the blue and red comes along here, it splits, okay, and on the one side I've got power coming, and on the other side I don't. I don't understand why. So if the lights weren't coming on, then it could be a bad earth on this side, and that could be causing it. But because I'm testing the voltage specifically, and I'm pressing that against earth, that shouldn't be the issue. Just checked my side lights, and I don't seem to be getting power either here, which also goes into the fuse box. I didn't check there that I was getting power, which is in the master switch, but down there is the starter motor. So I thought maybe it wasn't working because it wasn't earthed properly, so I quickly just did this. And I know that's not a good earth by any stretch of the imagination, but it means it's on the engine. And I moved this one so that it's connected to the body. And I've checked things, and that still keeps it earthed for the lights and stuff. So, and then I checked the main power to the starter motor, and that's right. And then this is on the other cable that goes in there, which is the one that receives the power when you turn on the ignition. And with that connected up, let's get this on. So with that connected up, so that's off. Okay, and so that's just in the running position. But when I don't know if you can hear me pushing it forward to try to ignite. nothing. So and I'm not hearing the relay go, so I don't know if it's the relay that's gone or my connection underneath. I'm on the ignition switch. I have been searching for this everywhere. So this is the starter motor. I couldn't find it. I was about to give up thinking I didn't have it. But this is the starter motor that came with Chris Robinson's engine that he kindly gave to me. So I'm going to test this, and if this one works, we're going to whip the other starter motor off and stick this one on. I've been playing around with this a bit, and I think I got the same problem with this one as the other one. That is to say, the starter motor bit, this works, but the solenoid isn't working. So if I apply power to here, this will spin. Okay, but what's not happening is this bit here isn't coming out as it should. It's not spinning out, and that's what the solenoid, I think, needs to do, is that there's a piston on that which would go out, which will force this out. There's a lever in here, it forces it out. So the power actually goes here, because if the power was not, if it was here, then it would be connected the whole time. Okay, and it's the pushing of that forward that gets it spinning. So the solenoid's driven from this, and if I try to connect the power up, you can see I just get sparks. It doesn't have the power to push that forward now, unless I'm doing it wrong. But that's exactly what I did on the other one as well, and I'm pretty sure I took the other solenoid apart and found it wasn't pushing out. So I think this solenoid is no good either, and I think that will need replacing. Right, and here's the evidence of the solenoid not being good enough. Okay, so we can see it just doesn't have the power, clearly, to move this, which doesn't feel like a lot of power to me. So I might just, well, I mean, doing that a few times might have cleaned it up a bit, so I'll put it back on and see if that's actually helped at all. Oh, the fun bit, connecting this back up. Right, so I've put it back on, and if I, so what we can see is it doesn't have the power to get it there. It does have the power to hold it there. Okay, so it'll hold it there, and then if I disconnect, it goes back. But it just doesn't seem to have the strength to get there in the first place. So again, I think that's solenoid. I don't know if there's a lot I can do about that. Right, well, thanks for watching. If you've got any thoughts on the pop-up headlight on the right, on why I'm not getting power to that side, on why I'm not getting power to the side lights, on the reversing light switch, or on the starter motor, I would really like to hear it. So I'd welcome the comments and anything else you want to point out to me. Thanks. See you next time. Bye.